Hi everyone, welcome to MEDISTUDIO. The title of this lesson is the names of skeletal parts, including muscles, tendons, ligaments, and joints. In this lesson, you will learn the names of the various external parts of the body and many important words that are used every day in medical situations with patients and between medical professionals. Quick quiz. Before we start the lesson, let's have a quick quiz. How many questions can you answer correctly? There are 10 questions in total. Look at the slide and try to name the parts of the body in English that are written in Japanese. The correct answer is here. How did it go? You don't necessarily have to be a medical professional to know all of these words in Japanese, but when it comes to English, they are surprisingly confusing. In this course, you will learn the parts of the skeleton, muscles, tendons, ligaments, and joints. If you don't know these words, it may not be a problem in everyday life. However, in the medical field, if you don't know the specific part of the body where the pain is felt, you won't be able to carry out a proper examination. Learn how to pronounce and spell them. Number 1, parts of the skeleton, upper body. Let's start by looking at the parts of the upper body. Number 1, frontal bone. 2, temporal bone. 3, zygomatic bone or cheekbone. 4, maxilla. 5, mandible. 6, cervical vertebrae. 7, clavicle or collarbone. 8, scapula. 9, thoracic vertebrae. 10, rib. 11, sternum. 12, humerus. 13, lumbar vertebrae. 14, ulna. And 15, radius. Here are some examples of sentences using the upper body's bony parts. Severe coughing can lead to fatigue fractures of the ribs. Radius fractures caused by osteoporosis are common in elderly people. You should have an X-ray examination of the humerus for suspected osteosarcoma. Next, let's start by looking at the parts of the lower body. 16, spine or backbone. 17, pelvis. 18, ilium or intestinal bone. 19, sacrum or immortal bone. 20, coccyx or tailbone. 21, pubis. 22, ischium or sitting bone. 23, carpal bones. 24, femur or thigh bone. 25, patella or kneecap. 26, tibia or shin bone. 27, fibula. 28, tarsal bone. And 29, metatarsal bone. Here are some examples of sentences using the lower body's bony parts. When blood vessels or organs in the pelvic region are damaged, symptoms of bloody urine or stools may appear. Another example is fatigue fractures of the tibia are common in volleyball and other jumping sports. And the neck of the femur is a place where blood flow is poor, so it is difficult for fractures to heal. Comprehension check and practice. Let's check your understanding. Listen to the audio and answer which part of the body it refers to. The audio plays each phrase twice. There are 10 questions in total. Number 1, metatarsal bone, metatarsal bone. 2, clavicle, clavicle. 3, scapula, scapula. 4, ischium, ischium. 5, lumbar vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae. 6, zygomatic bone, zygomatic bone. 7, radius, radius. 8, spine, spine. 9, carpal bones, carpal bones. 10, tibia, tibia. Check your answers. How many questions did you answer correctly? If you got even one question wrong, check the lecture again. Now, let's look at the upper body front parts of the muscles, tendons, and ligaments. 1, mimic muscle. 2, trapezius. 3, deltoid. 4, pectoralis major. 5, rectus abdominis. And 6, biceps brachii. Here are some example sentences with the names of the muscles of the upper body. Mimic muscles may become paralyzed as a result of a stroke. Rectus abdominis muscle separation is one of the most common symptoms of pregnancy. Injuries to the pectoral muscles are common in baseball players. Next, let's look at the lower half of the body. Number 1, quadriceps femoris. Number 2, patella ligament. Number 3, tibialis anterior. And number 4, soleus. Here are some example sentences using the names of the lower body. The quadriceps muscle is the largest muscle in the human body. Injuries can be prevented by stretching the soleus muscle well during the warm-up. Let's look at the upper body. Number 1, occipitalis. Number 2, latissimus dorsi. Number 3, gluteus maximus. Here are some example sentences with the names of the muscles of the upper body. The occipital muscles are susceptible to neck and shoulder stiffness. Relaxing the muscles around the buttocks, including the glute muscles, can help with the cold and swelling. Let's look at the lower half of the body. Number 1, biceps femoris. Number 2, gastrocnemius. And number 3, Achilles tendon. Here are some example sentences with the names of the muscles of the lower body. The gastrocnemius muscle is a common site for separation. Achilles tendon ruptures usually take about 2 months to heal. Comprehension check. Let's check your understanding. Listen to the audio and answer which part of the body it refers to. Audio plays twice for each one, and there are 10 questions in total. Number 1, deltoid. Deltoid. Number 2, soleus. Soleus. Number 3, biceps brachii. Biceps brachii. Number 4, rectus abdominis. Rectus abdominis. Number 5, mimic muscle. Mimic muscle. Number 6, pectoralis major. Pectoralis major. Number 7, latissimus dorsi. Latissimus dorsi. Number 8, gluteus maximus. Gluteus maximus. Number 9, occipitalis. Occipitalis. Number 10, quadriceps femoris. Quadriceps femoris. Check your answers. How many questions did you answer correctly? If you got even one question wrong, check the lecture again. Let's look at the elbow area and spinal area. Elbow area. Number 1, epicondylus medialis. Number 2, trochlea humeri. And number 3, olecranon. And now we'll talk about the spinal area. So, number 1, spinal nerve. Number 2, bone marrow. Number 3, cauda equina. And number 4, vertebra. Here are some example sentences with the names of the parts around the joints. The function of the olecranon is to smooth the bending of the elbow joint like a hinge. A bone marrow transplant is one of the treatments for leukemia. Let's look at the pelvic area and the knee area. Firstly, the pelvic area. Number 1, hip joint. Number 2, femoral head or carpet femoris. And number 3, greater trochanter. And now for the knee area. Number 1, knee joint. Number 2, cartilage. Number 3, cruciate ligament. Number 4, meniscus. And number 5, collateral ligament. Here are some example sentences with the names of the parts around the joints. One of the most common hip joint diseases is osteoarthritis. Meniscus injuries are common in sports injuries. Comprehension check. Let's check your understanding. Listen to the audio and answer which part of the body it refers to. The audio plays twice for each one, and there are 5 questions in total. Number 1, vertebra, vertebra. Number 2, cruciate ligament, cruciate ligament. Number 3, hip joint, hip joint. Number 4, meniscus, meniscus. And number 5, spinal nerve, spinal nerve. Check your answers. How many questions did you answer correctly? If you got even one question wrong, check the lecture again.
長年にわたり看護留学をサポートしてきたワールドアベニューが提供する医療者向け動画学習サービスメディスタジオ。リアルなシチュエーションを想定した医療英語講座を続々配信しています。気になった方は概要欄を今すぐチェック。